with us today. Lots to do, a lot of phone calls to get to. Ray Martell, Tony in the house, Scarangella, good to have him with us. And, of course, our good buddy today is Eddie Erickson on site. Beautiful set that we have here at SiriusXM, right at the ground floor of the North Atrium at the mall. So, at the largest mall. What's the mall called? Mall of America, the largest mall in the world. If you go up to the third floor, that's where the other radio stations are. And goodness gracious, I mean, you're doing talk radios upstairs, right next to folks eating steak and shake, which is a tricky spot. And that would obviously be a problem for our crew. Could you imagine Bill Zimmerman and Eddie Erickson upstairs producing Mad Dog Unleashed with all the food bouncing around? That could be tricky. Let's get some phone calls in. Eric in Long Island says hello first. Eric, welcome. How are you today? What's going on?
I'm doing good, Dog. How you doing?
Fine, Eric. Nice to talk to you, buddy. What do you have for me today?
Not too much, Dog. Looking forward to getting out there Saturday morning. Going through Chicago, the whole 9 yards. But listen, I think the Eagles handled themselves real well last night at media day. You can sense that this group is loose. I don't sense a little bit of tightness amongst Peterson, Cox, Jenkins, and Foles, the leaders of the team. I think they have a chip on their shoulder, and it's good that I heard what you said earlier about the media bailing out. I think that's going to add a little bit of fuel to the fire. I think they're a live dog in this game, Dog. I really do. I mean, I think they understand as a team what this means to the city of Philadelphia, what it means to the fan base. I think they're going to be in this game in the fourth quarter, and I think they're going to learn a little bit from what Jacksonville didn't do. If they have the lead with the ball, I don't see Peterson going into a shell, running the ball twice and throwing one play. I think he'd be aggressive on first down, try to stick it to the Patriots. But to me, in this game comes down to, I think, late first half, the last couple of minutes, how the Eagles handle that, and the beginning of the fourth quarter, whether they're trailing by a couple or winning by a couple, how they handle the early stages of the fourth quarter.
That's a good point. Well, you got to get to the fourth quarter first. One thing, Eric, that I want you to understand, that might be fine and dandy to what it means to the city of Philadelphia to win a championship. The Patriots could care less. I mean, Tom Brady right now is not that interested about them having a little parade in downtown Philly. So keep that in mind. I know that sounds good for the Eagle fan, but what does that actually mean as far as trying to beat the Patriots are concerned?
Oh, no, I agree, Dog. Listen, I mean, it's Brady and Belichick on the other side of the ball. You got to keep telling yourself that. I mean, they're going for number 6. I truly believe, though, the Eagles are going to play a great football game, and the ball's going to have to bounce their way. I think we're looking at a 3-point game either way, and it wouldn't shock me if this came down to, like it did in the first Patriots Super Bowl with Vinatieri winning their first title, whether it's Jake Elliott or Gostkowski going for a kick to win it. I think we're looking at an absolute dandy in the Super Bowl. I really do.
Now, I could say, one other thing, Eric. Are you okay with your fan base? All of Minnesota is going to root for the Patriots. Why? Because those Eagle fans throwing stuff at the Viking team bus and making the Viking families basically miserable in a championship game, a game that the Eagles led 24-0 at the half, 24-7 at the half. Are you okay with the way the Eagle fan handled that a week ago Sunday?
Dog, I'm actually a little surprised because, like I said, I was down there early for the tailgate last Sunday, and I saw a bunch of Viking fans by where I was hanging out, and I didn't see any problems at all. So when I heard about this after the game, about how they got treated badly and stuff, I mean, I don't know where it was, whether it was different parts of the stadium. I was surprised by it. Like I said, I was amongst a lot of Viking fans that made the trip down. I was actually very surprised that they actually spent money to come to Philadelphia, knowing that they had the Super Bowl in their backyard. But I didn't see any hostility where I was. So. But if that's the case, well, Dog, listen, the Eagles are going to have to handle it. But like I said, I think my team's ready to play a big-time game, and I just hope the ball bounces our way. I know they're up for the challenge. I really do.
All right, good job for Eric. Doesn't seem to be that worried about the fan base from a week ago Sunday. Huck in Missouri, aboard. He's on our show, and he's on Mad Dog Unleashed. Huck, good afternoon. How are you today?
Doing pretty good. Listen, don't mean our steak and shake, Dog. I mean, we're very proud of that in the Midwest. That's our baby burgers there. Don't mean our steak and shake.
Okay, the phone line is a little fuzzy, but I get the idea, Huck. Don't make fun of the steak and shakes. All right, I got that. What do you have for me now today? Let me hear.
Listen, I'm going to watch the game, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if it's just Patriot fatigue or Philadelphia, but I'm just not getting into it this year. I don't know. Maybe it's just, like I said, Patriot fatigue, whatnot, but I'm not looking forward to the game. My wife asked me this morning what we're going to do for the game, anything special, and I just pretty much said no. I'm just going to stay home. No buddies, no parties. Maybe I'll get more into it by kickoff, but.
Why would you do that, Huck? It's sort of a national holiday. Everybody goes to a football game in America. Last year we had a classic. Brady's a Hall of Famer. I have Patriot fatigue too, but come Sunday at 4:30, 5 o'clock, I'm going to be raring to go, and you would not want to be in that spot and then lament the idea that you made it just about you and your wife on Super Bowl Sunday. So wouldn't you want to make sure that you had the day planned and hope the feeling of enthusiasm sort of sweeps over you come late Sunday afternoon?
Well, sure. I mean, it's the Super Bowl. I like getting into it. I like having people over and parties and things like that. I get into that. I just, for whatever reason, I don't know. But the game, I'm not feeling it this year. I don't know. Maybe it's just the teams. I don't know. But just not feeling it like I normally do. Hopefully I will. Maybe I will. But right now I'm just not.
All right. Who do you like in the game?
I like New England. Who wouldn't want to, it's Brady. I mean, if it's a close game in the fourth quarter, are you going to pick against Brady? I'm not. Listen, New England's never blew anybody out in the Super Bowl. I get all that. And then there's a couple Super Bowls that they won that they maybe shouldn't have won. But, I'm not going against Brady and Belichick in the fourth quarter. I'm just not.
All right, fair point. And they lost one Super Bowl, which they shouldn't have lost, and they won two that they should have lost, that they shouldn't have won. They should have beaten the Giants the first Super Bowl. The Giants the Giants played well that day. I don't want to make it out to be that they were lucky to win the game because their defensive line, and good call by Huck, was tremendous. But let's face it, if Tyree doesn't catch the ball against the helmet, the Patriots win the game. And of course, they were kind of unlucky in that game. They were very lucky against Seattle, the dumbest play call in the history of the sport, and Pete Carroll, keep him out of the Hall of Fame. And then, of course, they were very fortunate last year. They should have lost to Atlanta down 28-3. They were somewhat fortunate there. Here's Brian in Philly. He's on Mad Dog Unleashed, and he says hello. Brian, welcome. How are you today? What do you have for me?
I love you.
Hello, Brian. Nice to talk. What's on your mind now? Let me hear.
Philly, if you're in the Philly area right now, Philly fans are so overconfident. And that underdog tone doesn't really fly anymore. You see what I mean?
Really? So the Eagle fan now in South Jersey and in Pennsylvania, they're confident they're going to win the game.
Absolutely, 100%.